Hi guys, today our focus is main idea. Our learning target states, I can use the RACE strategy to determine the main idea of a text and identify supporting key details. So readers, we have been learning how to identify the main idea by following these steps. The main idea is what the text is mostly about. And sometimes the author puts clues in our text to help us identify what he's trying to teach us or she is trying to teach us. So step 1, I'm asking myself, what is the text mostly about? Step 2, I look at the titles and the headings because I know those text features tell me what I'm about to learn. Step 3, look at the pictures and not just look at the pictures, read the caption under the picture. The caption tells us what the picture is about. Step 4, sometimes the main idea is stated in the first or last sentence. And step 5, look for clue words that are used repeatedly. So today I want to teach you that one way readers can determine the main idea and recount key details of a multi-paragraph text is by organizing your thinking, by thinking of the boxes and the bullets. Then we're going to answer our question, what is this passage mostly about, by using the RACE strategy. Remember, the R tells us to restate the question, A, answer the question, C, cite the source or evidence, and E, explain. So watch me as I preview our book, Frogs and Toads, and determine the main idea using the RACE strategy. So let's look at our table of contents. And our table of contents tell us what is in this book. We're going to focus on today the section entitled Yummy Frog Food, found on page 12. Yummy frog food. Frogs and toads eat worms, snails, and insects such as mosquitoes and dragonflies. They do not need to drink. They take in water through their skin. Many frogs and toads have a long, sticky tongue for catching food. The tongue is attached at the front of the mouth. It stays rolled up until it is needed. When an insect buzzes by the tongue quickly shoots out, catches the insect, and pulls it into the mouth. Frogs and toads have great aim. So readers, our question. What's the main idea of the section, Yummy Frog Food? Well, let's follow our steps. So I'm asking myself, what is this text mostly about? This section mostly about. Step 2, look at the title and the heading. Well, the title is telling me that we were learning about yummy frog food. Now, step 3, let's look at the pictures. This picture is showing me a toad eating a worm. This picture is showing me the frog's tongue and how it's shooting out to capture a fly. And then the last illustrations are pictures or drawings of a frog, how it makes eye contact and shoots his sticky tongue out to catch his food. Step 4. Sometimes the main idea is stated in the first and last sentence. So our first sentence says, frogs and toads eat worms, snails, and insects such as mosquitoes and dragonflies. Whoa. Well, the title is telling me yummy frog food. Now the first sentence is telling me what type of food frogs and toads eat. Let's look at the last sentence. The last sentence is telling me frogs and toads have great aim. So now I'm thinking, out of those two sentences, which one is telling me what the passage is mostly about? Step 5. Let's look for clue words that are used repeatedly, meaning words that I see over and over again. Well, I know the first two words I see over again are frogs and toad. So I already know this is mostly about frogs and toads. Well, our book title tells us it's mostly about frogs and toads. But what else is this section teaching us? Well, I see food. I see frogs and toads. They're talking about their tongue and how they catch their food. Those are the words I'm seeing recurring over and over again. So now, back to my question 1. What is this text mostly about? I can say the main idea is frogs and toads eat different kinds of insects and use their tongue to catch the food. Now, as a reader, I know I have to find my key details or my bullets. I have my main idea in my box. Now I'm looking for my bullets, my points, the evidence that supports my main idea. So, where in the text does it tell me that frogs and toads eat different kinds of insects? Well, sentence 1 for sure. It tells me that frogs and toads eat worms, snails, and mosquitoes. Now I'm looking back at my main idea. I need another key detail that tells me that they use their tongue to catch food. Remember, those were the words we were seeing over and over again. Tongue, catch, food, frogs, toad. Okay, so let's go back in the passage. Let's look at paragraph 2. Right here. It says many frogs and toads have a long sticky tongue for catching food. There's the evidence right there that tells me a frog and a toad use their tongue to catch food. So my second key detail that goes for my bullet, it says frogs and toads use their long sticky tongue for catching food. Now is your turn. Find me another key detail that supports our main idea. Frogs and toads eat different kinds of insects and use their tongue to catch food. Pause the video. Find that last key detail. So, now that we've used our graphic organizer, our box and bullets, to determine the main idea and key details, let's look back at our question, what's the main idea of the section, Yummy Frog Food, to answer it using the RACE strategy. So, our RACE strategy, our R tells us to restate the question and A tells us to answer the question, okay? So we did that over in our graphic organizer. Our graphic organizer states the main idea of the section is, and our answer, frogs and toads eat different kinds of insects and use their tongue to catch food. The R and the A is complete. Now, our third part of RACE, our C, cite the evidence. We're going to use sentence starters. For example, look over to the left of the screen. We can say in the text, on page blank. In the story, the author says, and we can also use the text states. So here is our C. Remember, our C could be one of our key details. C is the evidence that supports our main idea, which is the definition of a key detail. So C, the text states frogs and toads eat worms, snails, and mosquitoes. And E asks us to explain the evidence. We can use the sentence starters. This shows, this means, for example, therefore, this explains. And our E states, this shows frogs and toads eat different kinds of insects. So readers, now is your turn. I want you to remember, great readers know how to find the main idea and key details using the RACE strategy. Today, you are going to complete your reading assignment in Illuminate, and then for writing, you're going to practice our RACE strategy, okay, in Seesaw. Bye, guys.